Hello everybody, this is Amy Anthony. Hi, how are you? Here we are with Spanish Lavender. I'm going to pause a few minutes. Thanks for joining. Hi! Hello everyone, here I am, Spanish Lavender. Not very common in aromatherapy. Part of the plant talk happy hour is really to talk about plants. It's such a unique thing. So they don't have to be plants of aromatherapy, but I have to confess, here's our lovely plants. I have to figure out how to do this video. I finally got a little microphone. That's how sophisticated I am now. Haha. So a little bit about Plant Talk Happy Hour. I actually wrote some notes so I wouldn't forget to say anything. You might as well look at lavender as I'm saying this. Plant Talk Happy Hour is really like Plant Talk 10 minutes, happy 10 minutes, because I don't think I could spend an hour talking about Spanish lavender, but we could look at it for an hour, which would be pretty cool. I also do want to give a shout out to Amy Galper, who many of you who know me probably are following her, but she was my inspiration to do this because she's been doing some IG live stuff multiple times a week and other online things. So if you're not following her, totally check her out because she's doing a lot of like DIY things. She's really big into natural beauty and things like that. But again, I did IG live with her and I was like, hey, I love plants. Why not do this? So here's our friend, Spanish Lavender. I actually cut this. I'm going to show you these plants. These plants here are about 3 years old. Some of them didn't make it over the winter. So this one came from this. It's just what happens. These plants, Spanish lavender or Lavandula stoicus, always know your Latin names. Even when when you're gardening, it's super important when you're buying products, when you're buying essential oils. Because I actually did do a piece on this. I have it right here. I posted it up on my blog under Surprisingly Plant Talk. And in my research, please know your Latin name, because when you start talking, guess what? People refer to this plant, which doesn't look like the lavender everyone thinks about. And I love this plant. We'll get more into that. It's also known as Spanish lavender, French lavender, Arabian lavender, maritime lavender, butterfly lavender, topped lavender, cotton or crested lavender. Like crazy. And I've had this happen over the years with different lavenders. You're like, come on, just stick with one name. So please check the Latin binomials. It's really important. And I've seen some misattribution on essential oil sites, pictures I've actually written to companies. So just be aware. Don't freak out, but you'll know, because these are high in ketones. Let's just talk about the plant first. This beautiful, beautiful plant. So I'm sitting in front of Amsonia right now, which is a native to North America, by the way, but I might as well sit in front of Spanish lavender. God, here I am in my garden. Okay, here's Spanish lavender. Ooh, okay. So this is in the Lamiaceae family, right? With all the lavenders, the mint family. So this is friends with Lavandula angustifolia, oregano, marjoram, clary sage. You'll find that companion planting is nice to plant them with the other mint family, as long as this is growing next to sweet fern. That's another plant I'll be featuring one day. Let's see. One thing that's really special about this, you'll notice it's called Spanish lavender. It's native to the Mediterranean basin and it's old. It's really well known in Greece. It's grown for essential oil production a lot in Spain and Portugal, but this is a Grecian thing, and guess what? We often think about Lavandula angustifolia and high altitude lavender with its esters. This is getting beat up in a maritime climate, and I'm on Long Island, and it gets beat up here by really high winds. You'll get some salt spray. So this can hack it, and this is 3 years old, and it has its diebacks, but it's super feathery, really lovely, fine. Doesn't that make you happy when you look at that? Like, that's a happy little top. They really make me giggle. I don't know about you. Hi. Thanks for joining me. So let's see. So we talked about it. It's in the lavender family. You're getting to see the plant. this is how I know it. I don't know it to get much taller, but this is not its native coastal, its native area. This could get up to, I think, 3 feet. So this is I think a tender perennial here. I'm in New York State. I'm just looking at, let's see. One thing that's also unique about it, from my understanding too, is this is to my benefit. Most of the Mediterranean plants do not enjoy the kind of silty, acidic landscape we have here. The Northeast is known for its acid soils and its, pines, like acid stuff. Rhododendrons grow great here, azaleas, cranberry, blueberry, my uva ursi one day we'll talk about, but these don't mind acid. And many of your other lavenders are not happy. And knowing your pH type of your soil, it seems like a geeky gardening thing, but it's not, because that helps. The acidity of a soil helps depend what the mineral uptake can and can't be for a plant. And that's super important. Just like us, we think about acid and alkaline in our bodies. So I think that's about it. If you're here with me, that's awesome. Thanks so much for Plant Talk Happy Hour, also known as Plant Talk 10 Minutes. If you have questions about it, let me know. But it's curious. It's a really cool plant. But I think what I'm going to do now is let's talk about the aroma, and then we'll talk about the oils, and I'll move inside where there's a fan. So if you have a lavender with you, you might want to take it out. This smells nothing like it. This is high in that piney, camphoraceous. It's high in camphors. So for the aromatherapists out there and chemists, camphors are very, very active on the neuroendocrine system. This is it's fresh. There's always a bit of, I hate to say it, but cat urine, a urine-y. You get some of that terpenic. But there's a piney and then a kind of musty, but easy on the breath. This is one thing it's really known for, is to be a great respiratory aid in aches and pains before we even get into it. And I was going to try, I've never tried one of these before. If you want to know a plant, that's another thing too. If you're interested in plants, right, we all are, you're here. The flowers are these little guys. This beautiful showy thing is just called a bract. So that's just saying, hey, look at me, come and get me. Pollinators, I need some help. And you shouldn't eat too much of these. You could take this as a tea, but it's great for aches and pains. Some say migraines, but you have to be careful because it's very potent, and it's mainly because of the ketonic content or ketones. So I'm going to head inside the screened-in area. So if you're curious, I'm hoping this is useful. It's nice to see our friends here. Really gorgeous. Oh, another thing. So there's so much to talk about. This guy has been blooming since early May. So lavender, the other lavender most of us know of and love, of course, love all plants. Everyone's unique, just like us. This is a springtime bloomer, just like sages here, as well as rosemary. So don't think something's wrong. We're used to lavandula angustifolia blooming, June, July. But this is an earlier bloomer, just like rosemary. And mine just stopped blooming after blooming for about 2.5 months continuously in a very protected southern exposure. So here's an aerial view of Lavender stoicus. You'll see also the dieback. Because I really wasn't sure what would be alive, I didn't cut it back. So once it's done flowering, I'm going to give that a nice cut back, so then I can have a second blooming in about a month and a half, let's say. So don't be afraid to cut the plants back to help them out, actually. Because when you put any kind of plant under a little bit of stress, that's going to help it out. So here we come to, I pulled some oils to talk about essential oils. This is a beautiful aromatic plant. And welcome to my little porch. And I pulled some oils here. I always say pulled. I don't know why I say that. What is that? It's when make herbal infusions. I'm like, I decant the herbal infusion. I don't know why I use this language, but that's okay. So I'm putting the camera in a tripod. Hi. So let's talk oils and a few things. So one thing about aromatherapy, many of you joining me are probably aromatic enthusiasts. Many plants do the same thing. You know, I need to there we go. How's that? Many plants do the same thing, and it's good to know their personalities. So this is a really potent plant, and you can smell it. This is a humid day too, so this is not giving a lot of essential oil as much as a sunny day. This is a cloudy day. Humidity doesn't matter so much, but this will be a lot happier when there's sun, because then the oils are produced in response to that stress, which is a good stress. The personality of this is that rugged maritime climate, and when I've spent time with this oil, it is by far, like hands down, a respiratory tract soother, just like most camphor is. The funny thing is I don't have any of that oil with me right now. It's not with me, which is unfortunate. But I do have Cinnamomum camphora, which is camphor, and when you have that, you get that immediate cooling effect in the respiratory tract, which is so delicious. And that will come through with Lavandula stoicus. So really great for congestion, mucky muck mucus, and using as like a balsamic expectorating agent to clear mucus up. Think about like a respiratory steam. Maybe you're doing it in the shower. Because this is so potent, you always want to blend oils. I've made inhalers just for myself with pure camphor. It's like I love the smell of gasoline since I was a little kid. We all have our things, right? Propensities. So a respiratory support, I chose to pick blending it with rosalina, frankincense, and I have rosemary cineol with me. That's the most common one on the market that we'll see. But blending like balsamic and gentle. So if I'm working with Lavandula stoicus oil, it's potent. It is not something that you would be ingesting. It's pretty potent. A lot of fenchone and a lot of camphor, like at least 50 to 60%, if not more, of the chemical composition of the oil. I might want to counter that. I have to smell it with the camphor because that rosemary cineol is not doing it for me right now. So rosalina, which is a relative of tea tree, frankincense, and then I have Cinnamomum camphora again. I wish I had. And then you get that balsamic meaning cooling, immediate effect in the respiratory system, which is just so lovely. And hands down, when you work with an essential oil, any oil, you have an effect on the nervous system. And one thing this is proven to do, and I've felt it in myself, this chills you the frick out. I wish I could swear, but I won't. It just chills you out and is like a nervous system, I'll dare say, depressant. Don't quote me on that, but it's just clearing out like this day today. It's like mucky, and if you're feeling a little down, if you're just gonna sit with that oil, it's just gonna dispel and disperse and help bring a little vitality, freshen the breath. And when I was writing about this, I was getting this real I'm not Lavandula angustifolia that everyone loves, but I'm me and I can be me, and I'm so proud and happy of being me. And that to me is the energy of Lavandula stoicus. It's so lovely. So respiratory support with for the mind, of course, essential oils are mind-body, but I chose a blend. I've been having a thing for petit grain for probably a year now, like having it near me all the time. But imagine petit grain with clary sage, same botanical family, and then having that camphor, and if you sit with it, and clary sage has a little of that muskiness to it too, that kind of, I'll say, sexual, like rawness to it, and then the Spanish lavender, Lavandula stoicus, kind of brings in that sexy masculine energy. I never thought about that till now. Clary sage and Lavandula stoicus together, masculine, feminine, yin yang, like why not? Also combining for the mood, you know, marjoram could be so lovely with this. Same botanical family, no need to get crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have clary sage, camphor, cinnamon camphor as a substitute because I don't have my maritime lavender. And the marjoram, oh, it's just sweet. It'll help chill you out. I'm feeling a little less excited. It's really chill. Also, so we have really excellent for the mucky mind, respiratory tract. With its ketone content, it's great for bringing in like just pain relief. Think about something not sexy like tiger balm, you know, icy hot. Something for aches and pains, which is really lovely. And so many oils could be so lovely for that. I've said lovely a few times, didn't I? Lavender is a classic for pain with the Spanish lavender. Why not do 2 lavenders? Hell, blend 3 lavenders together and have fun. Lavandula latifolia, you know, great for pain as well. Spike lavender. But I was choosing to bring some heat. If you have like cold, arthritic, dull, achy, long-term pain, and you want to bring some heat and stimulation and blood to the circulatory, to the area, black pepper, camphor, I want to say cinnamon camphor because that's what I'm smelling as my, nothing's a substitute for this. So Spanish sage, black pepper, ginger for a little heat, and it's a rubefacient. It'll bring the blood. Peppermint could be something lovely to blend. And if you want to really bring warmth, clove. So think about blending like 3 oils together and something great for pain. I did post this up on my blog. If you go to NYC Aroma and go to Plant Talk, you'll see this post up there with some recipe ideas. But, oh, Nikki wants to say hi. Here, you get to see my doggie. She's the boss. Come on, Nikki. Come on, boss. Here. Bossy. All right, this is about wrapping it up, but she was scratching at the door, so she's wondering why am I out here and she's not. So, yeah, clary sage. I know you love the clary sage. Essential well-beings, yes, it's a perennial, depending on your climate. So I'm in zone 7B. Hi, Becky. I'm in zone 7B, and I'll have dieback for this. It just occurred to me, essential well-beings. Hi. So you're in in Indiana, right? This is really more happy in zones 6 through 8. So you can totally plant this yearly. I've been lucky that mine haven't died fully, and my plants are now 3 years old. I have had rosemary growing here for like 3 years, cold, hard winter with a lot of wind, and they didn't hack it. And I don't baby the plants over the winter, but this is totally a perennial. Like most, but again, this is not native to North America. We, bring this in. So I hope that helps. So I guess that's it for Plant Talk. So the theme for Lavandula stoicus is, I am who I am, just be yourself. This helps dispel some of that muck. It's not sedative in the way like lavender with its sleepy esters. This is more like a bit, I believe it works on acetylcholine receptors, and it works with calcium ion channels, and there's a real direct response with the nervous system with all essential oils, but this especially. Just gorgeous. So we did our plant talk. I'm trying to think about what will be the next one. This is basically what's in bloom and what's happening. So I hope you have fun this weekend, and I hope you enjoy this and spending time with some Spanish. I don't want to call it Spanish lavender. Lavandula stoicus, maritime lavender. Really happy. Little happy plant. So cute. So thanks. We'll see what the timing is, because maybe this is happy hour 15 minutes. So we'll see. Have a fabulous weekend and love the plants. Love you. Nikki says bye and thank you. Talk to you later.